guys, by the way, let's get this out and put it on the table to begin with. If Oliveira beats Islam, where do we rank him? Like, what kind of credit does he get? And I got to tell you something that has frustrated me, but I'm not going to get my way. I'm alone on this, which is talking about guys and who they beat. Like, we're happy to bring a guy's record into it, but we always want to draw down from the guy, well, he didn't fight ranked guys, or he didn't fight top guys, or they weren't championship fights. Like, there's a realness to that. I won't give you an overly hard time. I just don't know how many times in life that I've seen where that matters. I hear it talked about. This guy's 20-0 and this guy's 20-0, but this guy fought 4 guys in the top 10, this guy fought none in the top 10. Then when they go out to fight, I don't really see where that pays off. And I'll share with you with the real greats, it doesn't matter. Your 20 versus his 20. For the greats, it's the same 20. And let me tell you why. Now, stay with me on this. The greats, it's the same thing. I've never known, and I'm not trying to put myself in a category of great, but I never had a hard fight versus an easy fight. Never, not once. Never woke up on fight day and felt any different. Never was in the locker room and had any different level of confidence. Never trained different or did less privates with Clayton Hires. Never. It was always the same. The same effort, which is absolutely everything I got, is going into this. And whether it's an easy spread and it's a 30-27, or you get a stoppage, or it's a 29-28, or it's a split decision, however it goes, it was the same effort, which was everything. I think that's really relevant to bring up. I know from the outside it seems like, okay, this is an easy fight. And what does that mean for an easy fight? That you try less hard? Well, this was a hard fight, so you're going to try harder. I mean, they asked Dan Henderson about this one time, and Dan said it very well. And they talked to him. He was coming in off of a loss, going in to take on Daniel Cormier. I want to know if that added motivation. And Dan told him, well, had I won the last one, I'm not going to want to win this any less. I lost the last. I don't want this one any less. I want this with everything that I've got. And I just understood, and I just appreciated that. And some people have pulled and drawn down from Islam saying he should not be the number 1 contender because he hasn't beaten guys within the top 10. And they might have even said the top 5. And if you juxtapose that and compare that to Charles Oliveira, yeah, boy, Charles sure has. I understand all of those things. I would just tell you with that little fun fact and that little piece of data you have, there is not another guy anywhere, whatever he's ranked anywhere in the world, there's not another guy you could draw that can make 155 pounds who would have a 3-1 spread over Oliveira. Not a single guy. You're talking to me about Islam hasn't beaten guys in the top 5. Okay, great. Go grab the top 5. Grab the Chandlers. Grab the Poiriers. Grab the Gaethjes. Go grab the top 5. Grab the Tony Fergusons. Make-believe match with Oliveira and see if the line in Vegas has it better to 3-1. It won it. As a matter of fact, he did those fights. He fought Tony, who was even money, if you guys remember. He fought Gaethje where he missed weight and moved the line and it was still 2-1. He fought Chandler where it was 2-1. And at one point in that process, favored Chandler. He fought Poirier. Poirier went off as the favorite 2-1. There's nobody that you could grab. You want to talk about Islam's record? You want to talk about what he's done? You want to talk about what he hasn't done, how dynamic he is? I'll listen to you. The fight fans got the right to do that. I find myself doing it too. I'm not giving you a hard time. Go any way that you want. But if you're using that argument, just make sure if you're trying to use numbers as your way of convincing the jury, and you're using numbers that Islam doesn't have wins over guys in the top 5. Okay, great. But I'm going to see you with another number, which is the spread. There was nobody you could grab. Not one name. Not just the names that I mentioned withstanding. There was nobody that you could grab that you could put opposite Charles Oliveira and have them be the 3-1 favorite. And you know what? That line is right. That line makes sense. They started this sport in 1993. It has greatly favored the grappler. It has. A grappler taking on an opponent where if you juxtapose their skills has a deficiency within the wrestling, meaning they end up on bottom. Fancy way of saying they end up on bottom. History greatly says the guy on top controlling that position wins. It's the right spread. I don't have a problem with it. But it does seem to me when I hear that Islam shouldn't get this, Islam's got the fight. So if you're attempting to argue that he shouldn't be in there, it sounds as though you're in favor of Oliveira. If you're in favor of Oliveira, then you wouldn't want to take away from his glorious moment, which if he has over Islam, and we let the idea that Islam didn't belong in there in the first place live, see the problem? And we do this every Saturday night. Two guys fight, they're the right guys. One guy loses, that guy sucked, never should have been there. I don't have a problem with that. It drives the sport, it drives our industry. You never know anything until you don't know it, right? You see something, go, oh my goodness, that was so clear. Get him out of there and bring so-and-so in. I don't begrudge any of this. It just seems as though if we're going to be sportsmen about this and we're going to say that Islam doesn't belong in there and Islam hasn't had a heart of a path, I will just remind you, historically speaking, that doesn't matter. The more tried and tested somebody is not a positive. It generally serves to be a weakness. You've got so many great moments. You've got so many that you could pull out of you. And while you think that numbers might go against Islam, you're not wrong. You're not wrong to tell me he hasn't fought anybody in the top 5 or he hasn't beaten anybody in the top 5. You're not wrong to tell me that, but I'm not wrong to tell you there wasn't another name that you possibly could have produced that would create a 3-1 deficit to your current champion. So what, when you have that information, what do you do with that?